Hey there, Scout. Welcome to Scouting. Are you prepared to make the most of your journey to Eagle? If you're a relatively new Scout, just getting started in your troop and trying to have the best adventure possible on the path to Eagle, this video is made for you. In it, first, we'll be going over the basic knowledge that practically every Scout should know. How troops work, rank advancement, leadership, the activities you'll be participating in scouting, and everything else you should know to have the best journey possible. After that, I'll be giving you some lesser known tips, hacks, and mindsets so that you can kickstart your journey in the right way and have the best adventures with your troop that you possibly can. As an Eagle Scout who's helped quite a few new members get acquainted with our troop, I can tell you firsthand that getting started in scouting isn't easy. There's a lot of information coming at you, but this video is intended to distill the most important things for you all in one place. Once you know all of the things here, you're going to be ready to get started on the right track. So that's my #1 goal for you in this video, to help you be ready and prepared for scouting success. And what better way to do that than by diving into my computer and hearing from Scouts like yourself.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the inside of my computer. Right now we're talking about what scouting is, and these are quotes from fellow Scouts just like you who are on their path to Eagle. And I asked in my newsletter, the Scout Smart Scribe, which you can sign up for in the link down below, what does scouting mean to you? And I got some great answers, so I'm going to be sharing them with you and then talking about my own experience in scouting, just so you can get a better idea of what kinds of things are going to be involved on your own path to Eagle. So to kick things off, let's hear about what Isabella has to say about scouting. So she says, to me, scouting is about helping others. I learned so many things from community service that I used to think of as a chore. Additionally, scouting is about preparing oneself for the future. Scouting has taught me so many life skills through merit badges such as personal management, personal fitness, first aid, and emergency preparedness. Another thing about merit badges is that most of them give you a sneak peek into different kinds of career paths. And that's part of my own experience too. You're learning so much in scouting, so that's a great insight by Isabella. Just how much you learn in scouting and how much helping others doesn't feel like an obligation, but instead like a really fun activity that you participate in. All right, next up, what does Zachary have to say about scouting? He says, scouting's an opportunity to serve your community, learn new skills, meet new people, and become a better person. 100% agree with what Zachary's saying over here. Scouting is all about just doing new things, opening doors to opportunities, and really trying to see what else the world has to offer besides what you've already learned. So because of that, these are some great overviews of what scouting is, and just keep these things in the back of your mind as you go on in your scouting journey. There's so much to offer you, from learning new things to becoming a better person to making friendships to having adventures. You're gonna learn and do so much in scouting, so get really pumped up for your adventure, because my scouting journey was the adventure of a lifetime, and the same can be said for so many of my troop buddies, and I know it'll be the same for you. So as you go through this video, make sure that you're learning all that you can and getting ready to apply it on your own path through scouting, because being prepared, like they say in scouting, is the #1 key for success. Great, so now you know what scouting is, right? It's a long-term adventure that's so much more than just camping, hiking, and the outdoors. You're gonna build community, you're gonna make yourself into a better person, you're gonna have opportunities to rise beyond your peers and to step up as a leader. Because of those things, I would call scouting a long-term adventure that helps yourself, your community, and your world around you. Plus, you're gonna have a lot of fun. To me, scouting was all about becoming a better version of myself. My troop was a place where I could learn and fail comfortably, because I knew that my buddies there had my back. And because I was putting myself out there and trying to learn all I could, I eventually had the privilege of being able to give back and teach the younger Scouts. Scouting will surely mean something different to each person, and I'd love to hear what it means to you right now. If you have a second, let me and all the Scouts watching this video know by leaving a comment down below on what you think scouting is and what you're hoping to get out of your scouting journey. If scouting is already important to you, remember the reason about what you're trying to get out of it. This is your why reason. If it's important to you, remember that reason as you move forward, and always keep in the back of your mind your why behind scouting. That way, everything you do will be for a purpose that benefits you in the long run. All right, now it's time to move on to something actionable. Let's talk about the basics. Here we'll be explaining the 5 core principles of scouting. Here we are again back in my computer, and right now I'm going to be teaching you the 5 basics of scouting. Now these are things that you're always going to want to keep in mind as you go through your scouting journey, because these are your guiding lights behind all Scouts. So it's broken down this way: the Scout Oath, the Scout Law, the Scout Motto, the Scout Slogan, and the Outdoor Code. These are the guiding principles, you could say, for scouts as they progress. You're going to need to learn all of these before you move past your first rank in scouting, so it's important to start thinking about them now. All right, let's talk about the scout oath. Now, the way that the scouts give the scout oath is that they raise their right hand at a 90-degree angle, 3 fingers up. The 3 fingers is the scout salute. And they say, and my camera might be mirrored, so keep that in mind, but it's your right hand up, 90 degrees like that. You say, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. All right, so to break things down, first, I will do my best to do my duty to God and country. Doing duty to God and country can mean different things to every person, but what it means to me is to try to rise above your lowest version of yourself and to try to be better, be a role model, be a leader. Next up, to obey the scout law. Obeying the scout law is down here. We're going to get more into that later. To help other people at all times, to just be someone who is providing care and value to people wherever you can. Try to give as much as possible. Next up, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now, these are the 3 kind of main components of a healthy life. Physical, keep your body fit. Mentally awake, be thinking about things and be learning all the time. And then morally straight is to keep your ethics in mind. Try to be as good a person as possible, especially to your fellow scouts. From what I saw in scouting, you want to just be as kind and inclusive as possible to every scout around you. Okay, here's the scout law. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. So that's the scout law. You can consider each of these points by yourself individually, but it's something that you're going to need to memorize to rank up. And I think all of these points are super important as we go through there, like trustworthiness, loyalty, being helpful, being friendly, being courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful. All of these things will help to make you a more likable person and a better leader in your troop. So just try to put them into practice. Next up, the scout motto. Almost everyone knows this, I think, even before joining scouting, but be prepared. It's super important to be ready for anything in scouting, which is why being prepared is so crucial and why it's the motto. And you're already taking the steps to be prepared by watching this video, so very well done, just keep it up. Next up, we have the scout slogan. It's to do a good turn daily. What this means is to always just be doing your best to put good into the world. You can do more than one good turn, obviously, but at a bare minimum, be looking to see how you could do one good thing for someone unconditionally each day, and you're going to be living a great life by the sum of all those days. Last up, we have the outdoor code. And because scouting is so much in the outdoors, the outdoor code is super important for keeping a code of ethics for how we should care for our natural world. So because of that, this is the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, to be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation minded. Now this is broken into 4 points. So being clean in outdoor manners is just not littering, not like using the bathroom anywhere, like digging a hole and doing things properly. Be careful with fire. Forest fires are extremely dangerous, so being careful with fire is really important because in scouting you're going to be making campfires and you're going to be doing a lot of things with fire. So that's why you're going to learn the proper safety measures, and that in that way you can be careful with fire. Next up, being considerate in the outdoors. Often you're going to be hiking and there's going to be a lot of other people around, so you want to keep your noise levels down and just be considerate in your manners with the hikers that you pass or with the fellow campers around you. And finally, being conservation minded, not letting things go to waste, not leaving your trash out, not polluting water sources. All of these things are important for maintaining the beautiful outdoor environment that we have. So because of that, the outdoor code is super important for scouts to learn and follow. All right, now it's time for some bonus scouting information. So like we mentioned earlier, the scout sign is 3 fingers. When you give the scout salute, it's also the 3 fingers. You're doing it with your right hand. And then the scout sign, extended at a 90-degree angle. Okay, finally, the scout handshake. Now, the thing about the scout handshake is that it's with the left hand. So this might look like the right because the video is mirrored again. But yes, it's like, if you look at the picture, it shows shaking with the left hand. So always remember those things. Those are the foundations of scouting. So because of that, you're going to be using this all the time, and what better way to learn it than just right now as you're starting your journey. You'll find all of this and a lot more great info in your Scouts BSA handbook, so make sure to refer to that often throughout your scouting journey. At a minimum, you should skim through your handbook at least once. And if this seems like a lot to read, don't worry. You'll have plenty of free time in your upcoming campouts to finish at least a chapter or two. Now it's time to talk about troops. Every troop is different, and this will depend on your troop's size, but in my troop and most other troops, scouts are broken down within troops into patrols. Each patrol has around 6 to 12 scouts who work together as a team, and patrols last typically around 6 months to a year before they're remade and the scouts are broken into different groups. With your patrol, you'll plan camp duty rosters, you'll cook meals, and you'll fall in at meetings together. You'll also often be camping together in the same tent as part of patrols. Your first taste of leadership will be with your patrol. So right off the bat, try your best to get to know each of your patrol members because you're going to be spending a lot of time together. This is especially important to know because for the most part in scouting, troops are scout-led. That means you, yes you, the person watching this video, will have a big say in the activities that your patrol and your troop does. Make sure to keep this in mind as you move forward. This was something really important that I only figured out later in my scouting career, but it's super important to always be thinking about how you can make your patrol and troop better as you progress, because you do have a say and what you think matters. So always be working to make your troop activities more fun, to improve your leadership skills, and to become a great leader. Also, just as important as leadership, make sure to advance in scouting. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I saw in my own troop because some scouts were just happy to participate and didn't put much thought into ranking up. This was a big mistake because while you should definitely try to have as much fun as possible, putting in the effort to finish requirements and rank up towards Eagle is so important in scouting because it unlocks so many fun opportunities later on, as well as opportunities for growth and leadership. So don't miss out on this. And actually be prepared to put in the work early on to finish requirements and rank up all the way to Eagle. You're going to really regret not doing it, but conversely, if you put in a little bit of effort from the start, you're going to have a much easier time and it'll be so rewarding to just learn the skills and to even help your fellow scouts as you progress. So to that end, here's how to take charge of rank advancement. Hopping back into the computer. Alright, here we are in my computer, and first off, you should know that the highest possible rank in scouting is Eagle Scout. Earning the Eagle Scout rank is no simple feat, but it looks great for colleges and employers and is 100% worth the effort. I earned my Eagle and it looks like this, or this badge on the screen. Now here's how to earn Eagle. To become an Eagle Scout, you're going to need to climb the 6 previous ranks. Let me name them for you. This one is Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and then Eagle. So there are 6 ranks previously. To earn Eagle, you're also going to need to earn a ton of merit badges. I'm currently working on another extended video talking you through each of the individual rank requirements for Eagle, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And once it's out, I'll have it pop up on the screen here, so if it's already out at that time, you can watch it now. Now, let's talk about requirements. To get a requirement signed off, simply look at the back of your Scout handbook for the requirement section for each rank. Then, pick one that you want to complete. Learn the skill by reading your Scout handbook and looking at online sources, and then go up to your Scoutmaster and ask to get it signed off. They're going to ask you to showcase the skill and talk through what you learned, and once you do that, you're all set. At that point, they're going to leave their signature next to the requirement, which means you've got it completed. At that point, make sure that your Scout book account is also updated quickly, because these are your 2 records for keeping track of your progress, and if you forget to get either one updated or you lose one, you're going to have some trouble making sure that everything is accounted for. You're also going to need to complete merit badges to become an Eagle Scout. There are a total of over 130 merit badges ranging in topics from emergency preparedness to personal fitness to pets to family life to communication and everything in between. To earn Eagle, you'll need to earn a total of 21 merit badges, with 14 of those being Eagle required and the others being potentially elective ones. Now, since advancement is such an important part of scouting, I wanted to give you a few rapid fire tips so that you could advance more easily on your journey. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to give you some rapid fire tips so that you can take better charge of your scouting journey and just make the most of it right from the get-go. So, let's dive into tip number 1. Tip number 1, and one of the most important ones that I don't see a lot of scouts realizing right from the beginning, but they'll realize over time, is that scouting is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Don't try to do too much at once, and opt for steady progress over time. Otherwise, it's really easy to get burnt out and overwhelmed, and trust me, you don't want to be there. The best path forward is just finish a few requirements each week. Even 2 or 3 done over the long term is more than enough to get you to Eagle. So stay consistent and remember, it's all about the journey, not the destination. So enjoy scouting, take it slow, but make steady, consistent progress. Next up, tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to make sure to communicate with your scoutmasters and fellow scouts. Ask them for their advice. If you ask for assistance and accountability, you'll have a much easier time staying motivated on your path to Eagle because you'll have that extra support behind you. Plus, the older scouts are great people for teaching you those essential scouting skills. Finally, rapid fire tip number 3 is to always try to become the best possible scout within your troop. This means stepping up and being a role model. The reason this is so important is because scouting is so much more fun if you can act as a leader and really feel proud about yourself and your place in the troop. This is super rewarding, so remember, always try to make as much progress as possible and be the best possible version of yourself. So to this end, if you want to continue jumpstarting your path to Eagle, I actually created a great online course helping scouts to get started on their journeys. This course does a deep dive into completing requirements and earning merit badges. Plus, you're going to learn how to set the right goals and step up as a leader in your troop too. Basically, my Trail Map to Eagle course is everything that I learned on my path to Eagle that I wish I had known when starting out, and which I also helped to teach the newer scouts when I was a leader in my troop. I guarantee it'll help you, so make sure to check it out in the description down below just to see if it's right for you. Alright, next up, now it's time to talk about scouting activities. In troops, scouts often participate in a variety of activities like camping, hiking, fishing, knot tying, fire building, community service, exciting excursions, multi-troop jamborees, and so much more awesome things. When just starting out, all of this variety of activities that you're going to be doing in your troop might feel new and exciting, but also kind of overwhelming. But just know that that feeling is normal. I'd recommend trying to attend as many troop functions as possible in your first 3 to 6 months. After that, it's alright to miss a few things here and there for better scout life balance, but just try to be attending as much as possible overall while still feeling comfortable with your normal life, and you're going to be all good to go. Also, another tip, if there are any activities that your parents can get involved in, maybe as a leader or as a counselor, I highly suggest that they do. Whether it's acting as an adult volunteer or being a part of your troop committee, scouts whose parents are involved in their scouting journey are much more likely to earn Eagle and also stay motivated, so get your parents involved if at all they can. However, make sure your parents or the adult leaders aren't taking on too large a role in determining your scouting journey. I touched on this before, but troops are most fun when they're scout-led, so make sure that you're talking with your fellow scouts and suggesting new activities that you can do. By working together as a group to figure out the destiny of your troop and to figure out the kind of activities that you'll all be participating in, you're going to feel much more proud of the results that you create and also have a lot more fun. I've got a full article of my favorite troop activities that you can check out in the link down below in the description. Additionally, most troops have a week-long camp in the summers and winters where they can actually do merit badge classes and see other troops. These summer and winter camps are a ton of fun, so make sure to attend as many as you can as a scout. That's where I earn rare badges like rifle shooting and archery, but it's also a great place to earn EU required badges, so try to go to as many of these as you can. As a final note on scouting activities, some troops also plan high adventure trips. This can be something like an extended backpacking trip, or you can do what my troop did and do a boundary water canoeing trip. Your troop could also visit a location like Philmont Scout Ranch or Sea Base, which are home to some of the best scouting activities in the world. Overall, you'll have a ton of opportunities to participate in so many unforgettable scouting experiences since the path to Eagle often takes between 4 to 6 years. I personally took around 4 years to earn my Eagle rank and learned so much along the way. Being a scout will teach you independence, resourcefulness, teamwork, life skills, and even how to be a leader. In your troop, you'll develop close friendships with your fellow scouts and embark on some amazing adventures together. So get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Scouting is going to be such a great experience for you if you step up and you try to make the most of it from day one, which I'm sure you're going to do. And now that you have a pretty complete rundown of what scouting is, I'm going to give you a couple even better tips to get you started. This will help you out the most in your first year of being a scout, but if you're a little bit further on in your scouting journey, you can definitely apply these tips and they'll still be super helpful. So once more, let's dive into my computer and cover the 5 best tips for making progress in scouting fast. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome again to the inside of my computer. Here we're going to be going over some rapid fire scouting tips to help you get a head start on your journey to Eagle. And tip number 1 is to always take your scout handbook to every troop activity that you can. You never know when the chance to get requirements signed off will come. I found my best times for signing off requirements were during camping trips, so make sure to take it in there too. And as a bonus tip, always keep your Scout handbook in a plastic bag if it's anywhere that it can be rained on. One of those Ziploc bags are great for this. Alright, next up, tip number 2. Be a friend and a role model to your fellow Scouts. Try to remember people's names and support anyone who's struggling. This is one of the best ways that you can step up as a leader and really gain respect from everyone else in your troop. And this is by helping your younger Scouts and the Scouts that are struggling with anything that they need. Just be a friend to people, and you're going to find that it's a much better experience in scouting overall. Time for tip number 3. Stay positive. Remember that your expectations shape reality. So if you're not looking forward to something, think in your mind, why is that? How can I make it so that this is a great learning experience and also a ton of fun? By having an enthusiastic attitude and trying to keep that infectious so that your other Scouts are also motivated, you're going to have a much better time in scouting, and you're also going to create a lot better experiences for everyone involved. So try to look forward to your scouting experiences instead of just thinking, oh, I have to do this. Instead, try to think, oh, I get to do this. Wow, this is such a great opportunity. Wow, what can I do to make this even better? That way, you're going to have a much more awesome time with your troop in everything that you do. All right, tip number 4, identify your favorite resources. This is super important because finding a way to get into a routine of moving forward in scouting is the best way to make it to Eagle. So whether that's reading your Scout handbook often, talking with your fellow Scouts, or using an online resource like Scout Smarts, which is the website that I run helping Scouts to take charge of their scouting journey. By finding the best resources for scouting progress, you're going to have a much easier time just consistently progressing and advancing on your scouting journey. Now it's time for the final tip, which I think is one of the most important, which is to just start. You're never going to feel ready, whether it's stepping up as a leader, tackling a difficult requirement, or earning your Eagle required merit badges, but make sure to just take that first step. The first step you take is often the most important, so just do it. Don't worry about failure. Scouting is the perfect place to fail safely and comfortably and to learn from it. So just put yourself out there and you're going to have so many benefits in the long run. Just take that first step and start. So there you have it. Those are my best tips for getting started on your scouting journey and making the most of it. However, there's so much more to learn and be prepared for. That's why I put together a full ebook that's built around my own scouting journey, which I call the 7 Secrets to Scouting Success. This and my course are my best resources for helping get you started down your scouting journey and earn Eagle in the most confident way possible. So make sure to check the links to those things out in the description because I've heard from a ton of Scouts how much these resources help and I wanted to share them with you. On a final note, just remember that scouting is what you make of it. This is your opportunity to learn a ton about the outdoors and to have a blast alongside friends as you do it. Enjoy the time you have and don't feel too pressured to do everything perfectly right away. Scouting is a long and worthwhile adventure, so just keep growing and make the absolute most of it. With that, you are ready to have an awesome time in scouting. Thanks so much for watching and make sure to subscribe for future scouting guidance and epic videos helping you to make the most of your path to Eagle. With that, I'm wishing you all the best on your scouting journey. Thanks for watching.